If you lost your job tomorrow, if a medical emergency drained your savings overnight, if your bank account hit zero, would you be able to bounce back? Welcome to Invested Intellect, where we transform your mindset through the power of books. Today, we're diving into a book that hasn't just changed the lives of everyday Australians. It's transformed financial futures all over the world. The Barefoot Investor by Scott Pape, a no-nonsense, down-to-earth guide that teaches you how to take control of your money without stress, spreadsheets, or fear. This book shows you how to get out of debt, simplify your income into 3 powerful categories, balance saving and enjoying life, and most importantly, stop fearing money, start making friends with it. So if you're looking for financial security, a path to home ownership, peace of mind and life balance, a proven monthly system that makes your income work smarter, not harder, then stick around, because this video breaks down the real, practical truth of the Barefoot Plan. Not just how it reads, but how it works in real life. Let's begin this financial revolution, right here on Invested Intellect. Chapter 1. The Night Everything Changed. This book opens with a raw, emotional, and deeply personal moment. A night that shattered everything Scott Pape had built and reshaped his entire philosophy on life and money. At the time, Scott was a successful financial advisor. He had a stable job, a cozy farmhouse, a loving partner. Life seemed on track. But then, it all went up in flames. 1. The night it all burned down. Scott and his girlfriend, who later became his wife Liz, were at their farmhouse when a devastating wildfire swept through the area. Within minutes, everything they owned, their home, furniture, keepsakes, was gone. In Scott's words, "I was on my knees, ash on my shoulders, tears in my eyes, the world had stopped." But in that heartbreak came a life-altering lesson. Real security doesn't come from money. It comes from your mindset. 2. The birth of the barefoot life. After the fire, Scott and Liz made a pact. From now on, we live simply, truthfully, and powerfully. We'll keep only what matters and strip away the rest. That's where the barefoot life began, a lifestyle focused on spending intentionally, giving your income purpose, focusing on what truly matters in life. Scott asked himself, was I living the life I really wanted? His answer, no. 3. Not for everyone, but definitely for you. If. Scott makes it clear, the barefoot way isn't for everyone. But it is for people ready to take control of their finances, those who want to break free from debt, anyone craving a stress-free financial future, parents who want to raise money-smart kids. If you've ever thought, I've never been good with money, I have nothing left to save, investing sounds too complicated, Scott assures you, this book was written for you. 4. What this book is not. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, magic fix, spreadsheet-heavy guide, crypto pumping, or stock tip manual. This is a real, grounded, step-by-step path to true financial independence. 5. What does barefoot even mean? Barefoot means simple, honest, unpretentious. It's about cutting through the noise and getting real with your money. Make life simpler. Make money work for you. Don't chase it blindly. Main takeaway from Chapter 1. Running after money without understanding it is like setting yourself on fire. If you don't give your money direction, one day everything could burn. Not just your house, but your dreams, your confidence, your life. And here's a powerful question to leave you thinking. If you lost everything today, your job, your savings, your home, do you have a financial system that could help you rise again? If not, are you ready to take the first barefoot step toward building a financial life that can survive anything? Chapter 2. Plant your flag. After the fire, after the shock, Scott made a choice, a firm, clear declaration. He was going to take full responsibility for his financial life. This chapter is all about making that decision, your own personal financial revolution. Scott says, most people only start talking about money when it's too late, when they're drowning in debt, out of work, or the relationship is breaking down. But if you act now, you can change everything. 1. The power of a decision. Every transformation begins with a choice, not a spreadsheet, not a budget. A decision, a heartfelt commitment to take charge of your money. No excuses, no blame. That's what planting your flag means. A mental, emotional, and behavioral vow to own your financial journey. 2. Set a date night? Yes, seriously. Scott says, financial success doesn't happen alone. It should be celebrated. He recommends setting up a barefoot date night. Whether with your partner or solo, take one calm evening to commit to the barefoot plan. Decide to control your money instead of letting it control you. Promise to go slow and steady, step by step. Scott calls this a sacred ritual. It's like a spiritual contract to redesign your entire life. 3. Why this book works. Scott wrote this book from his farm, not in an office, not in a tower, but on real soil, living a real life. There's no jargon, no complex theories, just practical step-by-step tools. But here's the key. You can't pick and choose parts of the plan. It's all or nothing. If you skip steps, it won't work. 4. Relationships plus money equals teamwork. Money and love don't have to clash. In fact, one of the main reasons relationships break down is lack of honest money talk. That's why Barefoot Date Night exists, to build a habit of open financial communication. When you talk openly about money, your relationship gets stronger too. Scott says, talking about money with your partner doesn't just build your finances, it builds trust. 5. Drop the guilt, shame, and fear. Many people hesitate to start the Barefoot plan because they believe they don't make enough money. They've made too many mistakes. It's too late. Scott calls BS on all of that. Your financial past is just your starting point. The ending? That's entirely up to you. 6. Get ready for the next step. This chapter isn't just about promises, it's about preparation. Now that you've made the commitment, it's time to start building the system. Coming up next, resetting your bank accounts, categorizing your expenses, creating the Barefoot buckets, and here's the question to reflect on. Have you ever really sat down, and had an honest conversation about money with yourself or your partner? If not, are you ready to plant that flag today and take the first step toward a secure financial future? In the next chapter, discover how one simple bucket system can organize your income and expenses and bring peace, clarity, and balance to your financial life. Are you ready to create your Barefoot buckets? Chapter 3. Burn your budget. In Chapter 2, you learn that real financial transformation starts with a clear and powerful decision, what Scott Pape calls planting your flag. Now in Chapter 3, he introduces a bold idea that may shock many people. Stop budgeting. That's right. Scott says budgeting doesn't work. What you need instead is a system. Most people open Excel sheets every month, track their spending line by line, feel guilty, cut corners. And still, by the end of the month, their money is gone. Why? Because budgets work in theory, not in real life. 1. Why people hate budgeting. Scott observed that over 90% of his clients either hated making budgets or couldn't stick to them. Why? They're boring. They feel restrictive. They cause guilt and frustration. They don't fit into the way life actually works. When every expense feels like a crime, money becomes a burden. That's why Scott says, forget budgets, build buckets. 2. The Barefoot buckets, a simple system to direct your money. Scott introduces a practical and powerful system called the Barefoot buckets, a fresh approach to managing money. You divide your income into 3 core buckets. Bucket 1. Daily expenses, 60%. This covers all your regular living costs, rent or mortgage, utilities, electricity, water, gas, groceries, transport, internet and phone, school fees. This bucket handles the essentials of your life. Bucket 2. Splurge, 10%. Yes, Scott wants you to spend a little on fun. He believes if you cut out joy completely, you'll burn out and fall back into bad habits. Use this bucket for dining out occasionally, going to the movies, buying yourself small gifts, hanging out with friends. This is guilt-free fun, and it's critical for your mental balance. Bucket 3. Fire extinguisher, 30%. Now comes the powerhouse bucket. This money goes toward paying down debt, starting investments, building an emergency fund, saving for future goals. Whatever financial fire is burning in your life, this bucket helps you put it out. 3. How to set up the bank accounts. Scott recommends setting up at least 5 separate bank accounts to represent each bucket. 1. Daily expenses account. 2. Splurge account. 3. Smile account, for long-term goals like travel, car, etc. 4. Fire extinguisher account. 5. Mojo account, emergency fund. As soon as your paycheck arrives, your money is automatically split into these accounts, giving you instant control. He calls this the set and forget model. Once it's set up, the system runs itself. 4. Why this system works. You always know how much you can spend. Fun is built in, so you don't feel deprived. There's no guilt. Everything has a place. Emergencies don't feel like disasters. You start thinking long-term, not just month to month. Scott calls this a money without stress system. 5. Can this work in India or anywhere else? Absolutely. In India or any other country, you can easily adapt this system. Use UPI apps and online banking to manage multiple accounts. Open separate savings accounts or create folders within one app. Set up auto debits for smooth transfers. Use tools like Paytm, PhonePe, or Google Pay to track spending. This isn't just for Australians, it's universally applicable. 6. How to start this system. Here's your action plan. Set up a Barefoot date night. Go to your bank or use net banking to open 5 accounts. Split your income using the 30th of October 60 rule. Give each account a name and purpose. Launch the system with your next paycheck. Track progress for a month, then adjust as needed. Just like that, your money now lives inside a solid, automatic system. A powerful thought. What if every single dollar in your account spoke to you and told you exactly what it was for? Wouldn't your life feel less chaotic and more in control? Chapter 4. Your financial body armor. By now, you've laid the groundwork for the Barefoot plan. You made a firm decision, plant your flag, ditch the old school budget, burn your budget, and began splitting your money into purposeful buckets. Now it's time to build your most essential financial defense system, what Scott calls the Mojo account. This chapter revolves around one question. If you lost your job today, how many days could you survive without panic? If your answer is not even a month, it's time to build your Mojo Fund. 1. What is Mojo? In American slang, Mojo means confidence, energy, balance, and control. Scott defines the Mojo account as your emergency fund, a financial cushion that gives you peace of mind, strength to face uncertainty, protection from falling into debt, the power to make smart, non-emotional decisions. It's not just a money stash. It's a source of mental clarity and emotional safety. 2. Why do you need a Mojo Fund? Because life will throw curveballs. Everyone faces a Mojo moment at some point. Job loss, medical crisis, business failure, family emergency, or maybe a fire that burns everything down, just like Scott experienced. The Mojo Fund is your first line of defense. It stops panic. It gives you breathing room. Scott says, when you've got Mojo, you don't fear your boss, the bank, or life. 3. How big should the Mojo Fund be? Start with a basic goal, around $2,000 or 1.5 lakh rupees in India, then slowly build it up to 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. If your monthly essentials cost 30,000 rupees, your Mojo Fund should be between 90,000 rupees and 1.8 lakh rupees. This money is only for emergencies, no splurging, no vacations, no shopping. 4. Where to keep your Mojo account? Scott suggests you store this money in a separate bank, so it's not mixed with your daily account. You don't see it every day and get tempted. It's slightly inconvenient to withdraw. It earns good interest. In India, you can use a digital bank, high-interest savings account, or even a fixed deposit. Just make sure you can access it quickly during emergencies. Psychologically, the Mojo Fund makes you feel a little more free every single day. 5. How to build the Mojo Fund even if you're broke. Scott offers some realistic, effective ways. Cancel useless subscriptions. Take up part-time work or freelancing. Sell old stuff. Books, clothes, gadgets. Try a no-spend challenge for 30 days. Allocate 50% of your fire extinguisher bucket to Mojo. Remember, this isn't a savings plan. It's a freedom plan. 6. What happens without Mojo? Scott shares real-life stories of people who got stuck without a safety net. A mother had to take a 24% interest loan to treat her sick child. A man lost his job and had to mortgage his house within a week. A couple maxed out credit cards to fix their car, then paid interest for months. All of this could have been avoided with just one Mojo Fund. 7. What Mojo gives you? Peace of mind, the courage to say no to a toxic boss, the strength to walk away from a bad relationship, the freedom to change careers, most importantly, trust in yourself. Scott calls it financial fireproofing, a financial shield that protects you in every storm. 8. Jason and the bike, a real Mojo story. Scott tells the story of Jason, a barefoot reader who sold his old bike and put 50,000 rupees in his Mojo account. Just weeks later, he got laid off. But Jason didn't panic. He used the time to learn a new skill, applied for jobs, and landed an even better position. Without Mojo, he would have drowned in credit card debt. A final reflection. If tomorrow you had to quit your job, for your health, your dignity, or your sanity, could you do it? Without fear, without debt, without regret? Coming up next, Chapter 5, Debt Detox. Learn the Barefoot strategy to break free from debt and reclaim control of your life. Are you ready to discover why Scott calls credit cards your biggest enemy? Stay tuned. Chapter 5 is just around the corner. Chapter 5, The Journey to Becoming Debt-Free. In Chapter 4, you learned how the Mojo Fund acts as your first line of defense in tough times. Now it's time to break the chain that holds most people back in life: debt. Scott Pape is crystal clear in this chapter. If you're in debt, you're not financially free. You're a slave. This chapter is all about one mission: eliminate bad debt, once and for all. 1. Good debt versus bad debt. Scott draws a simple line between good debt and bad debt. Good debt helps build assets, like a sensible home loan or an education loan that truly improves your earning power. Bad debt is the kind that drains you. Credit cards, personal loans, buy now, pay later, BNPL schemes, financing gadgets, or furniture. Scott says, you need to destroy your bad debt fast. 2. Credit cards equals poison. Scott doesn't sugarcoat it. Credit cards are toxic. People think they're being smart by using cashback or reward points, but in reality, the bank is outsmarting them. His barefoot rule: cut up your credit card right now. Never get one again. 3. The Snowball Method, a simple plan to crush debt. Scott introduces the snowball strategy, an easy and motivating way to become debt-free. Start with your smallest debt. Focus all your efforts on paying it off. Make minimum payments on all other debts. Once the smallest is cleared, move to the next. Rinse and repeat. With each debt gone, your confidence snowballs, just like a tiny snowball rolling downhill and becoming a giant. 4. Use your fire extinguisher bucket. Remember the 30% fire extinguisher bucket? Now's the time to put it to work. After building your Mojo Fund, redirect this bucket to demolish your bad debts. This is your debt killer machine. 5. The real reward of debt freedom. Scott says, freedom from debt isn't just about money. It's about dignity, relationships, and freedom itself. When you're no longer living under the weight of EMIs, you finally get to live on your terms. A thought-provoking question. If you had no EMI, no credit card bill, no personal loan, what could you do with all that extra money? Could you use it to finally start living a life you love? Chapter 6. You deserve to have fun. Life isn't just about saving and investing, it's also about joy. Scott encourages you to set aside 10% of your income in your splurge account and spend it guilt-free. Go out for dinner. Watch a movie. Buy something small that makes you smile. Treat yourself. This ensures that the system stays sustainable and balanced over the long run. Chapter 7. Put out the fire. The fire extinguisher bucket is the most powerful tool in the Barefoot system. You use it to pay off debt, build your Mojo Fund. Later, start investing. Every month, direct this money to whatever part of your financial life is currently on fire. Chapter 8. Start making your money grow. Once you're debt-free and financially stable, it's time to grow your wealth. Scott's investment approach is refreshingly simple. Low-cost index funds, long-term SIPs, systematic investment plans. Use retirement vehicles like PPF, NPS, or mutual funds in India. Trust in compounding, not short-term interest rates. It's not about being flashy, it's about being consistent. Chapter 9. Knock your debts down like dominoes. This chapter expands the snowball strategy from Chapter 5. Think of your debts as dominoes lined up. You knock them over one by one, gaining momentum, energy, and clarity with each win. Confidence comes from action, not from overthinking. Chapter 10. When and how to buy a home. Buying a home is not an emotional decision. It's a financial one. Scott's advice: get strong financially before buying, save up for a healthy down payment, understand the loan terms, make a plan to pay it off early. The goal? Own your home. Don't let the bank own you. Chapter 11. Teach your kids about money. Scott offers a simple, powerful way to raise financially smart kids. Give them 3 jars: spend, save, and give. Let them earn their pocket money by doing age-appropriate chores. Help them open their own bank account. Teach them to make thoughtful decisions with money. This isn't about amounts, it's about habits. Chapter 12. Prepare for retirement. Scott emphasizes planning ahead for the day you stop working. In Australia, it's superannuation. In India, you can use NPS, National Pension Scheme, EPF, Employees Provident Fund, PPF, Public Provident Fund, mutual fund SIPs for retirement. Start now, invest regularly, and give compounding time to work its magic. Chapter 13. The Final Shield. Scott closes the book with one last crucial step. Protect yourself and your loved ones. Build your final financial shield. Get proper insurance, life, health, income protection. Create a will. Stay vigilant about cybersecurity. Teach your partner and kids how money works. This final layer keeps your family safe, no matter what happens. Final conclusion: a book that builds your life. The Barefoot Investor isn't magic. It's a simple, doable system that works in real life. Scott Pape teaches you how to spend wisely, save intentionally, eliminate debt, protect your future, still enjoy life along the way. A closing thought: if this video made you stop and think, if you felt, maybe for the first time, that money doesn't have to control you, that you can control it, then remember, real change doesn't start with a book. It starts with a decision. At Invested Intellect, we don't just read books. We live them. We apply them. We let them transform our lives. If this video helped you, like this video, comment below. What was your biggest takeaway? Subscribe to Invested Intellect for more life-changing book breakdowns. Share this with a friend who's tired of money stress and ready for real change. We'll see you next time with another powerful book that could change your life. Until then, remember, books don't just give knowledge. The right book at the right time can change your entire life. This is Invested Intellect, where every page makes you the ruler of your own life. Thank you.